I think we're good. Welcome, everyone.
欢迎大家今天来上课。
My name is Kurt Mortensen. We're going to continue with the topic on persuasion and influence.
我是Kurt Mortensen。我们今天呢继续讲解关于说服力跟影响力的事情。
I'm the same person as last week, but I got a better camera and a haircut, so I might look different.
上周呢，我们这个设备呢不太好，所以今天呢，你可以看到你可以看到我全部的影像，会比较好多了。
And so as we talk about success and money made easy, it's critical that we cover the topic of persuasion and influence.
我们在这个轻松赚钱的课程里，我们讲到说服力跟影响力。
If you want to be successful and wondering it's taken so long, it's probably your ability to work with people and to influence them to your point of view.
如果你觉得你为什么这么慢还没有成功的时候，有可能是在你的影响力上面出了状况。
Most millionaires have the ability to persuade and influence.
大部分的亿万富翁呢，他们都具有一定的说服力和影响力。
Because we see too many people that start a business or get in network marketing, they try it for 2 or 3 months and say, it didn't work.
因为有很多人呢，他很努力的在网络上行销或者是做一些事情的时候，做2、3个月，他就说真的没有办法。
And we have to say, it didn't work for you.
你觉得这个方法行不通？其实这个方法只是对你行不通。
It worked for these millions of other people. What do they have that you don't have?
因为在其他人呢可能做到了，但是为什么你没做到呢？
That's why we're spending the time to focus on what does it take to influence people.
这就是为什么我们要花时间慢慢的来专注的来研究为什么这个影响力是这么重要。
So quick review.
那我们先来做一下很快的这个浏览。
My name is Kurt Mortensen. These are the books I've written: Max of Influence, Persuasion IQ, and Laws of Charisma.
再一次，我的名字是 Kurt Mortensen。那我出了有4本书，那他做了28种翻译成28种版本，是有关于影响力跟说服力的。
I spent the last 20 years monitoring influential people to see what are they doing different than the average person.
那我花过去我在过去20年呢，我专心从事于研究为什么有一些人还有不同的说服力和影响力。
How do you get others to want to do what you want them to do and like doing it?
因为有时候你希望别人能做些什么，或者他能为你做什么。
And these techniques work all over the world.
这些技巧在全世界都受用。
Then I've been published in 28 different languages, and I've done this all over the world, and these skills work.
那这些书籍的内容呢，跟它的技巧呢，被翻译成20种语言，在全世界流通。
So these skills we want to be talking about will help you persuade with power and get what you want when you want.
我们想要讲的就是说呢，你如何能够拥有很强大的说服力，让别人能够期待做到你想他们做到的。
So a quick review, last week we talked about building trust, getting people to trust you.
那我们上次有提到有关于信任跟建立关系。
The week before that we talked about how persuasion has changed.
那在之前的那一周呢，我们谈到说服力如何改变一切。
And how most of persuasion involves a subconscious trigger or a feeling or emotion. That's what persuades people more than just giving them all logic.
因为说服力呢，会影响一些人的逻辑跟他们的内心，给他们一些激励，所以呢，可以改变一切。
This is the skill that will make the biggest difference in your life, in your family, everything you do, your ability to persuade.
这是可以改变你人生的一个技巧。
In fact, the number one thing I get after teaching a 3-day seminar is like, why didn't we learn these skills in school?
那之前呢，我给了一个3天的特别训练课程，是说为什么这些技巧我们没有在学校里学到。
So that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I wish I would have learned it in school.
这就是为什么我对这个题目呢这么有热情，是因为我希望呢在学生时代就可以学到。
So today we're going to talk about rapport.
那我们今天会讨论到如何建立关系，
How do you connect with people?
你要如何跟别人产生一种连结，
How do you get people to like you?
那如何让人们喜欢你？
Do people like you?
那人们真的喜欢你吗？
Do they?
是吗？
Are you sure?
你确定是这样吗？
Or are they just pretending to like you?
或者是他们只是假装的呢？
I mean, some people you meet, there's an instant connection, and some people you meet, you just do not like them.
有时候呢，你在遇到人们的第一次呢，你也会一下子就产生连接，或者是有时候你看到一个人，你并不喜欢他。
Because as I talk to CEOs of multi-million-dollar corporations,
我跟很多有亿万富翁的这个 CEO 讨论过，
they're looking at two different companies, looking at two different companies, same product and same price, but two different companies.
那这个研究里面就是说，他们同样的产品、同样的技巧，可是不同的这种公司。
And they decided to go with company B, number 2.
那比如说，你选择的是 B 公司的产品，
And I said, well, why did you go over company 2 over company 1? Because everything was about the same, the price, the service, the company. Why did you go with company number 2?
当我在访谈这些顾客的时候，我问他们说，为什么你要选择 B 公司的产品？因为他们的 A 跟 B 公司的产品，这个都相同，而且价格一样。
And the CEO thought about it and said, well, I liked him better.
但是呢，这些选择 B 公司的 CEO 告诉我说，他们比较喜欢 B 公司。
So if you really want to be influential, the key factor is you have to get them to trust you and like you.
所以呢，你如果真的要对他人产生影响力，你一定要让别人喜欢你，而且信任你。
So to review from last week, we talked about the 5 C's of trust.
上次呢，我们有讨论到这个五件信任的这个元素。
Your character, which is your integrity and your honesty.
那比如说呢，你的这个个性怎么样？
Your competence, which is your knowledge and your intelligence.
你的自信如何呢？跟你的这个专业技巧如何？
Your confidence, which is your conviction, your belief.
然后你自己的这个有关于你的专长怎么样？
Your credibility, which we talked about that you can borrow.
那你给别人的信任感如何？
And of course, congruence to your words match your actions.
那当然还有你这些能够符合你这些技巧的能力。
So as we get into, before we get into to rapport, let's talk about some of the things that you're doing that cause resistance.
那我们先来谈谈这个反抗。
As you talk to people and try to influence them, there's 4 specific things that you could be doing or not doing that's causing resistance.
那当你在跟别人交谈的时候呢，可能会有4件事情有可能会产生反抗力，或是不会产生反抗力。
Because sometimes when we try to influence someone, we say, well, they don't get it, they're not smart enough, they don't understand, but it could be you, some of the things you're doing right or wrong.
有时候呢，你可能会觉得对方呢不理解，或是不了解，还是说他们太愚蠢了。可是问题有可能发生在自己身上。
And so if you try to persuade somebody and they say no, it's going to be one of these 4 things.
所以，当你想试着要说服他人的时候，而他们的答案是否定的时候，有可能发生在这4件事情上。
And your job as a professional is to figure out which one it is and fix it for next time.
所以呢，你的工作呢，就是要很专业的来看待这件事情，然后呢，好好的这个改正下一次。
So the first one
第一件，
is you didn't give them a reason to do it.
你是不是给了他们足够的理由来做这件事？
You gave them 17 reasons why you liked it and why you thought they should do it, but you didn't give them a reason why they should do it.
那你给他一大堆理由说这个东西很好，但是你并没有给他们理由说为什么他们要做这件事。
You didn't ask, what's in it for them?
但是你没有从他们的观点来着想。
Why should they care?
为什么他们不
What
在
are
乎
their,
呢？
what are their interests?
那他们的兴趣是什么？
You just gave them a list of logical reasons that you like, but you didn't give them a reason for them to do it.
你可能列下了很多你觉得是很重要的理由，但并没有考虑到他人的看法。
You didn't give them an interest, a need, or want to do it.
你没有给他们兴趣，没有给他们告诉他们他们应该做这件事情。
You focused on the logic instead of really understanding the emotional reason for them to do it.
你一直专注在逻辑的思考，但你没有注意到他们感性的心情。
And a lot of big companies make the same mistake. They focus on the logic instead of the emotion.
所以有很多的公司呢，大规模的公司都有犯同样的错误。
In fact, around the world, they estimate that 80% of new products fail from large companies.
也就是说，很大的公司呢，在全世界大概有80%的公司，他们只着重逻辑性的思考而失败了。
Because these big companies are focusing on the logic instead of the emotion.
因为呢，他们认为他们是很大的公司，所以他们用科学的研究、逻辑的思考，结果他们失败了。
For example, in blind taste tests, you get different results than when the consumer can see the product.
比如说用盲点测试的话，你可能让他们不能看到这个产品，却可以。
And they always focus on the logic and don't really understand the emotional reasons that people do things.
因为这些大公司呢，完全专注在逻辑的思考，他们不在乎人性。
An example is the company Intel. They manufacture computer chips.
举例来说 ，Intel 这家公司，英特尔的公司，
And they released a computer chip that had a little minor mistake, a flaw in it.
那比如说，那他们做的英特尔公司呢，就是制造电脑里面的一些小小的这个 chips。
And millions of people found out they had just bought a computer that had a flaw, that had a little mistake.
那比如说呢，他们很多人呢，他们购买新电脑的时候，他们发觉这个电脑里面有一节点错误。
And all the logical engineers at Intel said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. It only has a 0.00001 chance of making a mistake. It won't be a problem."
所以呢，英特尔的工程师呢，就会告诉这些人说，就不要担心，因为呢，你可能会有0.0001的错误的比例。
But it didn't matter. People got very upset.
但是呢，这顾客呢，仍然非常失望。
The emotional impact of a computer that might have a mistake or has a flaw that might make a mistake was too much emotionally.
虽然这是很小的一个逻辑性的错误，但是却导致人们巨大的心理上的这个遗憾。
And they had to change everybody's computer chip, and it cost them over $1 billion.
因为他们认为，如果为了这小小的错误，他们就必须改变的话，他们会花费上百万美元。
Here's a fun example that happened in the United States.
那举个例子，在美国发生的事情。
They found out with refrigerators that some people open them and just look and waste a lot of energy as they're looking inside to decide what to eat.
比方说呢，一个冰箱公司呢，他们觉得有很多人呢把冰箱打开，站在冰箱前面呢思考要拿什么样的东西的时候，会浪费很多的能源。
And they said, well, what if we created a see-through refrigerator? It would save you over $100 a year in electricity, and you could become green. It would be good for the environment. Would you like that?
所以一些大公司呢就想说，如果我们有做了一个透明的冰箱呢，他们就可以站在外面，就可以开始思考他们想要拿什么样的食品出来吃。但是这样子的话，就可以节省一整年可以节省很大的电力的能源。
And everyone thought, that's a great idea. We save money. We help the environment. That's a very good idea.
所以这家公司呢，觉得这真是太好的主意了，因为我们可以也节省我们的这个资源呢，而且我们还可以照顾到环境，而且是一个很好的商机。
The problem is that's logically a good idea. They didn't think about the emotions.
他们认为这是一个逻辑上非常巨大的胜利，可是他们并没有从这个感性角度来思考。
And of course, they created it and it failed miserably.
然后呢，他们就制造这样透明的冰箱，结果所造成巨大的失败。
Because nobody wants their family and friends to come over and be able to look inside the refrigerator and wondering, hey, what's that? What's that?
因为呢，没有人喜欢有一个透明的冰箱，然后让人说三道四的。
So the lesson here is you got to create a compelling emotional reason for people to do things. Why do they want to do it, not why you want them to do it?
所以呢，你必须要思考到说他们为什么需要这样做呢，而不是你自己希望他们这样做。
In fact, there's a story of this guy that he runs a military center. His job is to train people that just joined the military.
那比方说有一位呢，他是在军中的一个服务的一位男士，他的工作呢就是要帮忙训练刚入伍的新兵。
And one of the things that he was supposed to do was train these young 18-year-olds about this special military life insurance.
他的工作呢就是要训练这些刚18岁的入伍的新兵。
Now, selling life insurance to a young person, to an 18-year-old, is difficult because they think they're invincible. Nothing could ever happen to them.
因为呢，他们这些新兵呢，他们觉得不太可能会发生什么事情，所以很难训练。
But this person, everybody in his class was buying this special life insurance.
对不起，那可是不好。但是大家呢，都在这个课堂上，每个人都开始买这个保险。
So his bosses were going to visit his class, like, what's going on? What does he do that's different?
那他的老板就说：“为什么你要这么做？”
And this is what he did.
这就是他做的。
Says we have this special life insurance. It's optional, and this is how it works. Let me explain it to you.
因为呢，他这个呢，应该是一个很特别的一个保险计划，所以你应该特别的解释一下。
If you don't have it and something happens in a battle, your family gets $6,000.
所以呢，你应该解释说，老板告诉他说，你应该解释说，如果你不买这个保险的话呢，他们可能如果他在市场出了问题的话，那他的家庭必须要负担这些费用。
If you do have this life insurance and something happens in battle to you, your family gets $200,000.
所以，如果你买了这个保险的话，如果在战场上你有出了问题的话，你只要付200块。
And then he said, "Who do you think they're going to send to battle first?"
但是他却回答说：“那谁会去上战场？”
Think about it.
所以大家可以想想看这个案子。
Right? I won't go into the ethics of that, but he created a compelling reason for them to listen and for them to do it.
所以呢，他的这个案例里呢，他制造了一些很有趣的对话。
The second thing that would cause resistance is it's too risky. The risk is higher than the reward.
那第二件事情会导致大家反抗拒绝的原因呢，是说它的风险高过它可以获得的。
What if I fail?
所以人们想着，万一我失败了呢？
What if I get criticized? What if I look bad? Could be part of the risk.
或者是说我失败了，或者是说我被批评了，还是说我感觉很糟？
So if this is the issue, there's a few things you can do to reduce the risk.
所以这些都是你被拒绝的风险。
You can offer a guarantee.
你没有办法保证什么事。
You can provide social validation.
但是呢，你可以跟他们建立一个社会性的连结。
That's where you show them other people that were in the same situation and that have done it and they were successful.
如果你提供这些社会验证过的法则的话呢，他们可能会就比较就能够接受。
Or maybe you could let them try it for 2 weeks.
或者你可以让他们试用2星期。
A lot of times with weight loss products or even nutritionals, if you get people to try it for 2 weeks, for a month, that's one of the most persuasive things you can do.
比方说，如果在销售营养品或者是一些减重的产品的时候呢，你可以让他们试用，这是最好的方式。
In fact, there's a persuasion technique called foot in the door.
那这个说服力的法则呢
Because we've noticed that if you're asking somebody that's something that's too big for them to do, it causes a lot of resistance. It increases the risk.
如果你要求他们做一个很大的改变的时候，你当然会获得一个很大的拒绝。
Here's a study.
所以一些在美国的研究报告，
They went to psychology students at a university and asked them this question.
那他们去到大学里问这个问题。
Will you participate in a sensory perception study Saturday morning at 6 a.m.?
你愿意在礼拜六早上呢6点钟上课吗？
And only 24% said yes.
只有24%的学生愿意。
Then they changed it one way, and it went from 24% to 56%.
那他们只改变了一种说法，就从这个比例呢，就从24%提高到50%。
And it's very easy to apply.
那它这很简单。
So this is what they did. They said, will you participate in a sensory perception study?
那你们就愿意这个参与有知觉的这个学习吗？
Yes.
是的。
It's at Saturday. Are you available? Yes.
那你在礼拜六可以吗？是的。
It's at 6 a.m. Can you be there? Yes.
那6点钟的时候你可以到得了吗？
I hope you caught that, because all they did was take one big question and break it down to 3 smaller yeses.
那比如说他们的做法只不过将一个很巨大的问题呢，把它切成3个小的问题，而且是肯定性的问题。
So if you're asking somebody to do something and getting a lot of no's, break it down into smaller yeses. It will double the amount of yeses you get.
所以呢，你如果要替代一个很大的巨大的问题，有可能得到一个很巨大的不的时候呢，你应该将它切换成几个小的可以获得肯定性答案的问题。
And so it's important when you persuade people, always ask the easiest yeses first until you influence them.
所以当你在说服别人的时候呢，你应该要以一些小的问题，让他们会达到回答肯定的问题的时候，再不断的进行下去。
The next reason people will resist you or say no is resources.
那有的人会拒绝你的原因是因为你的来源。
They don't have the time, the energy, or the money, or the social support.
比如说呢，他们没有时间，他们没有精神，他们没有钱，或是他们没有这些社会的资源。
Because if somebody ever says your opportunity or your product is too expensive, you didn't do a very good presentation.
如果有人说你的这个价格呢太贵了，就表示说你没有好好的跟他解说。
You didn't build the value.
因为呢，你没有好好的告诉他这是物超所值的一种。
So your goal as a persuader is to show them that for $100 they get $1,000 of value.
那你可以告诉他说，他们只要付，举方来说，你告诉他们，你付了100块，你可以得到1000块的价值。
Show them the return on investment.
仔细的展现呢，他们可以获得的回报。
For example, in a seminar, I'll hold up a $20 American bill, $1, $20.
比如说呢，是一场演讲呢，可能是20块美金。
And I'll say, does anybody want to buy this for $1?
那我告诉别人说，有没有人愿意用1块美金来买？
And people run up and they give me $1, and I sell the $20 for $1.
那比如说呢，20个人来买这个20块美金。
And I ask them, well, don't you want to think about it? Do you want to talk to your spouse first?
那我问他说，你要不要跟你的配偶讨论一下？
Before you do this, don't you want to read my books or go to my website?
那我说，如果你要做这个决定之前，你要不要先去看看我的网站，或者先阅读一下我写的书籍？
And they always say, no, no.
我说，哦，不用了。
Because it's easy. The return on investment is there. And when you can create your presentation to show them return on investment, that they're exchanging $100 to get $1,000, then it becomes easy. You've put it all into perspective.
因为如果你可以展现这价值的话，对他们来说是太划算，他们就不需要再考虑了。
The last one that could cause resistance is representative or you.
那最后一个元素呢，有可能造成拒绝的是，有可能就是你表示的方式，或者是你自己。
For some reason, they didn't like or trust you.
因为某些原因，他们可能不够信任你。
And so last week we talked about trust and building the trust.
所以上周呢，我们谈到信任。
And now I want to talk about how do you get people to like you.
那我现在所要谈的是说，如何让人们喜欢你。
Because you know when people like you and you make a mistake, they say, it's okay, just don't do it again.
因为如果你让别人喜欢你的话，那你做错了的话，他会说没关系，那你再做一次吧。
But if someone doesn't like the person, they make a mistake, wow, they get really upset and really mad.
但是当人们不喜欢你的时候，如果万一你做错了一件事情的话，结果就很糟。
So let's talk about building rapport. How do you connect with people?
那让我们来谈谈建立关系，你要如何跟人们建立关系
How do you get people to open up to you and tell you about things they're concerned about?
你如何让人们对你敞开心胸，然后告诉你他们想要的事情
Now be very careful here. Don't say, oh, I'm good in this area.
那你要很小心，你不要随便展现说你是一个专家。
Because we could all work on this, we could all improve.
但是你必须要证明。
Because it's easy for you to build rapport and connect with people like you that have the same type of personality.
对每个人而言，很容易能够跟类似自己的形态的人建立关系。
But if you want to be influential, you want to be successful, you have to be able to connect with all personalities, all cultures, all different people.
但是如果你想要具有说服力和很大的影响力的时候，你必须要跟任何不同的文化跟不同的类型的人都建立很好的关系。
In fact, when you talk about influence, what do you think is the best type of personality to have?
事实上，当我们谈到有关于影响力的时候呢，你觉得什么样的个性是最好的？
And that's kind of a trick question.
那我来问问看这些问题。
Because most people say, well, mine's the best.
因为大部分人会觉得说我的个性是最好的。
And I'm okay with that.
我是觉得 OK。
But you still need to adapt to different people, different ways of thinking. That is a key to be successful.
但是你还是必须要接纳一些不同的思想、不同的个性的人们，你才能够真正成功。
So let me give you some tools to be able to do that.
那我们给大家一些工具，看你如何做。
If you look at what sparks any relationship when you meet a stranger, is the ability to find something in common, something similar.
当你遇到一个陌生人的时候，你应该要很快速的寻找你们有一些共同特质的地方，一些相似性。
Think about it. When you meet someone for the first time, you're asking questions to find out anything that you have in common.
当你在见人们的初期的时候，你必须要很快的问一些问题，然后呢，找到你们两个共通性。
Is it children the same age? Is it the same school? Do you like the same sporting teams?
或者是说比方说比如说你们孩子是在同样的学校吗？或者是他们是一样的年纪呢？还是喜欢同样的运动？
Is it politics? Is it working for the same company?
或者说我们的公司的政治类似？
Because the relationship doesn't start until there's something in common. There's something that you found that is similar.
因为真正的良好的关系只在当你找到共通性的时候才开始建立。
For example, well, the key is that you can find something in common with anybody that you meet.
比方说呢，最重要的关键就是你可以在对任何一种类型的人呢，都很快的找到你跟他的共同性。
I know it's harder with some people than others.
我知道对一些人来说是蛮困难，不过没关系。
But you can find something in common with anybody that you meet.
但是你一定可以找到一些类似的地方。
Now, sometimes we might have to stretch. Okay, we're both human, we both breathe air.
有时候你可能要做一些话题性的延伸。
But hopefully you can find something a little better than that.
但是我希望你真的可以找到一些共同性。
But make sure it's something relevant to them, something that they care about.
但是呢，在找共同性的时候，要注意说这些事情是他们关心的，而且跟他们是有关的。
And maybe it's something positive too. You wouldn't want to say, "Really, you served time in jail too? So did I." It might not be a good thing.
比如说你要找到一些共同性的话，是最好是正面的题材。
So similarities, that's what sparks a relationship.
所以第一个呢，就是相似性。
Now, another interesting one as far as getting people to like you is understanding mood and influence.
那第二个元素呢，希望能够很尽快跟人建立关系的，就是他们的心情。
At the university, I spent 2 months looking at the correlation between mood and your ability to get people to like you and influence.
有很多的大学呢，花了一些时间做了有关于心情与人们喜欢你的研究。
The first thing is your mood.
第一个是说你当下的心情。
When you're in a bad mood and put on that fake smile and pretend you're happy, people sense something's wrong and they're harder to influence.
当你有不对的心情的时候，不管人们怎么对你微笑，都是不管用的。
We have found with influential people, they can have a failure, but they have the ability to change their mood very fast to get in the right mindset.
我们发现有成功的一些有影响力的人呢，他们就可以很快改变人们的心情。
Now, what about their mood, the mood that the person you're trying to influence?
那对于你想要影响的那个心情呢？
The studies show that when people are in a bad mood, they recall bad things, why it won't work out, and why they don't like you.
那当人们心情不好的时候，他们当然不容易喜欢你。
But when they're in a good mood, they recall good things, why it's going to work out. They can see the future and why they like you.
因为当他们有好心情的时候，他们可以看到未来，他们想一些正面的事情，而且他们容易喜欢你。
So when someone's in a bad mood, I would not try to influence them.
所以当看到有心情不好的人的时候，我不会试着要影响他们。
Either schedule another time,
你可以再另安排时间，
or you spend the time to get them into a better mood before you start to influence, but never influence somebody in a bad mood. It's very difficult.
或者是说你可以先让他们心情变好了之后才开始影响他，绝对不要在不好的心情的时候影响他们。
Even if you give somebody bad news, it affects the relationship.
因为如果你给别人不好的消息的时候，也会影响你们两个之间的关系。
Just be very careful that you're in the right mood and they're in the right mood, and influence and rapport is much easier.
所以当你们的心情都是稳定的时候，才可以有比较好的影响力的结果。
Now here's an easy one, using their name.
念他们的名，说出他们的名字。
But the problem is people say, well, I'm not good at names.
那有的时候人们就觉得，就你喊他的名字不太好。
Remembering names is not a function of memory, it's a function of listening.
因为这个名字呢，它其实是倾听的功能。
And so you can learn to remember names, and this is what it does.
所以你可以试着记住他们的名字。
When they do MRIs or they scan people's brains, they found that when you use someone's name, it actually triggers the pleasure sensor in their brain and they like you more.
有些研究，他们感觉说，如果说你在能够喊出名字的时候，他们会在他们的头脑里会触动了这个名字的一些记忆。
Did you catch that? Just by using their name, they like you more.
就是使用他们的名字，他们会比较喜欢你。
Also, when you use someone's name, it instantly grabs their attention.
而且如果说当你们 叫他们的名字的时候，他们会放更多的注意在你身上。
Now, you can use their name too much in a conversation, but just strategically, every time using their name, they like you better, and it grabs their attention.
所以要记住，要经常使用对方的名字，然后在你们的对话当中，他会比较喜欢你。
The next one we notice, and this varies by culture, is a smile.
在下一个元素呢，很简单，就是微笑。
We've noticed around the world that a smile increases sales in a retail setting about 20%.
这个标准放诸四海皆准，就是微笑呢，都总是会提升很多的销售量。
A smile can say you accept the person.
微笑呢，也可以让人们的心情好。
Even when people are in customer service over the phone, smiling while they're talking, people like them more, and this is over the phone.
在做这个客服的时候呢，如果你一边谈话呢，一边面带微笑的话，也会更好的结果。
So a smile is free to use, so you have one, start using it.
所以你可以随时都使用微笑。
The next one that gets people to like you is understanding praise.
那下一个元素是说赞美。
If you can praise somebody and boost their self-esteem, it opens the doors to influence.
如果你懂得赞美对方的话，他们就会为你自己的影响力打开上门。
But the opposite's true. If you bruise someone's self-esteem, it hurts you, closes the doors to influence.
那相反的，如果你伤了对方的自尊呢，你也将你自己关起一场大门。
So your ability to praise and help people feel good about themselves is critical to influence and rapport.
所以呢，你如果能够懂得赞美对方的时候呢，你就会穿过这个批判性的这个技巧。
Everybody around the world is hungry for a compliment. They're hungry for praise. They want to be part of the group.
就全世界的每个人都希望能得到人们的赞美。
So if you have a calculator, go ahead and figure out how much does it cost to praise somebody.
如果你有计算机，也可以想想看，说你赞美别人的时候，你需要花费多少钱？
And of course, the answer is it's free. It costs nothing.
那这是免费的，而且你不用花费任何代价。
But we don't do it sometimes and it's so easy to implement.
说有时候，但是我们人们却不常这么做，其实它是非常容易的元素。
For example, I was shopping with my wife at this large mall, and she went into a store I didn't want to go into.
比如说呢，我去购物的时候呢，这不是我想进去的这个商店。
And so I decided to go into a suit store, and my wife saw, well, you don't need a suit.
那比如说我想要去西装店，我的太太告诉我说你不需要装。
I said, I'm just going to look and, see how persuasive they are because I like to monitor persuasive people and what they're doing.
所以呢，我说我想去，因为我想看看人们是怎么被说服。
So I walked in, and the sharply dressed gentleman came up to me and said, "Can I help you?"
所以呢，我走进了西装店呢，有一个年轻的这个销售员就走向我说：“他可以帮我吗？”
I said, "Sure. I'm looking for a dark suit. They're more credible." And he said, "Okay."
那我说当然了，那我正在找一个非常正式的西装。
Then he asked me, "Well, sir, what size are you?"
那他问我说：“你的尺寸如何？”
I said, "Well, I'm not quite sure."
那我说我没有量过，所以我不知道。
So he got his little tape measure out and he measured my waist, and then he measured my chest.
所以这位男士呢，他就开始帮我量身定做。
He measured my chest again.
然后呢，他再量一次我的胸围。
He says, "Do you exercise? Do you lift weights?"
那他跟我说：“你有在运动吗？因为你感觉好像瘦了。”
I said, "Why, yes, I do."
我说：“啊，是的，我真的有在运动。”
He says, "Yes, I can tell. You're going to need the athletic cut."
那他告诉我说：“是的，你这样子好多了。”
So I bought a suit because it was on sale. That was the only reason.
所以有人我在西装店就买了一套西装，不是因为他在这个热销，而是因为这个赞
But,
美。
but simple praise opens the doors for influence in any situation.
所以呢，赞美呢总是在任何的情况之下都会为这个你的影响力开扇窗。
But if you want praise to work, there's three things that need to be included.
但是当你要赞美人的时候，三件事情。
The first one, it needs to be sincere from your heart. It works much better if it's truly sincere and from your heart.
第一件事一定要从你内心发自你内心真诚的赞美。
The second thing is you only should be praising things that are positive.
第二件事说你必须要赞美正面的事物。
For example, you would want to go to a family party and go to Uncle Fred and say, hey, good for you that you're still alive. I thought you'd be dead with all the bad food you eat.
比如说你去那个家庭派对的时候，你告诉你的这个叔叔说，哎，你真的很不错，你还活着，因为你吃的。
Only praise things that are positive.
所以你只能赞美正面的事物。
But here's the most important thing. It needs to be something specific.
还有一件重要的事就是你必须要赞美一个特别的事情。
Because when you praise someone with a low self-esteem, they'll say, oh, that you're just saying that to be nice. That's not true.
有的人他会，如果你随便的赞美，他会说，那你只是想当个好人，这不是真的。
Or if you say you look beautiful in the dress, they might say, oh, this old thing, I just found it in the trash.
那比如说你穿的衣服很漂亮，但是呢，对方说，哦，那你看起来不是真诚的。
So if you can praise something specific that happened that they can't refute, it's a lot more persuasive.
所以如果你赞美他们正在发生的那件事情，而且是正面的，而且特别的话，这样他们才可以接受。
For example, if I said, when you were on the phone with Mr. Jones and they were angry and you turned them around and they're now happy, that was perfect. Thank you for doing that.
比如说呢，我称赞你说，Mr. Jones 在通话上非常生气，所以你跟他谈话的时候呢，他们变得很愉快，你真的是很棒。
It actually happened. They can't refute it. That works very well in praise.
因为呢，这件事真的发生了，而且他对方听者呢，他不会拒绝，他就很欣赏你的赞美。
The next one is, this is interesting, appearance, how we look.
另外，第六个元素呢是你的外观。
There's two elements to this. There's our physical appearance and the clothes we wear.
那有两种，就是说，一个是你自己原来长相，另外一个是你所穿着的衣服。
Now, with our physical appearance, some things we can fix and some things we can't.
有一些，如果说是你的身体上的呢，有些你可以改变，有些你不能改变。
We notice that most CEOs around the world are taller than average.
那我们知道呢，在全世界的 CEO， 大部分他们的平均身高高过一般人。
People judge us on our looks, on our weight. I know it's not fair, but that's an instant thing that happens when we meet somebody.
因为人们呢，总是会批判他们的外表、他们的身高、他们的长相如何。
In fact, they notice with studies, the better looking you are, people think you're actually more trustworthy and smarter than you actually are.
因为在很多的研究里面显示说，当你长得越好看的时候，人们越容易信任。
Even in the judicial system, the not so good-looking people get longer prison sentences than the good-looking people.
那比如说呢，一些研究也是指出说，在长得比较不好看的人呢，他们要做的解剖技还要好一点，才能够胜过那些比较好看的人。
Even in presidential elections around the world, the better-looking candidate usually wins.
所以呢，我们可以看到呢，全世界在总统选举的时候，通常长得比较好看的候选人，他们可能都比较容易赢得选举。
Except for our last election in the United States, neither one was good-looking.
除了川普之外。
Okay. So also our clothing, people judge us on the clothes we wear.
另外呢，人们也会批评你的穿着。
So just make sure that you look the best that you can, because people, especially strangers you meet for the first time, will judge you on your physical appearance and the clothes that you wear.
所以你必须要总是注重自己的穿着，因为呢，尤其是陌生人，他们会非常的在意你的外观。
Now, another interesting one that we see that connects with people, builds rapport, is eye contact.
那另外一个元素呢，很有趣呢，就是你们的视线的接触。
Now, this one does vary by country and culture, but it's still important to maintain a good eye contact.
这个在美国呢，是真的蛮实用的。
Now, not 100% of the time, because if you're looking at someone 100% of the time, it either means you're falling in love or you're very angry.
但是不是100%的眼神接触，因为有的时候是，因为100%的眼神接触，有时候意思是说你坠入爱河，或者是说你非常的生气。
And neither one is probably good for you when you're trying to influence somebody.
但是呢，还是有些需要这样的元素能够来影响他人。
The average around the world for eye contact is around 70%.
如果最好的眼神接触大概是70%。
So around 70% of the time, you should be looking into their eyes, getting that trust, rapport, and that connection.
所以呢，当你在跟人交谈的时候，能够有70%的时候，把眼光跟对方接触。
Because eye contact, there's a connection there. That's why when people wear sunglasses, it's hard to connect and build a relationship.
所以，因为眼神接触是这么重要，所以当有人在戴着这个太阳眼镜的时候呢，是非常困难做到这一点。
In fact, an interesting study with eye contact, they had a man and a woman of the same age sit down knee to knee and have them look at each other's eyes 100% of the time.
所以呢，在这个年轻的男女呢，他们通常坐下来可能会有100%的眼神接触。
And they started to have loving feelings towards each other.
然后呢，他们就开始心生恋爱的感觉。
So try that out this week.
所以呢，这一周你可以试试看。
I'm kidding.
我只是开玩笑。
But eye contact is such a simple thing. We're looking at our phones and our texting. Get the eye contact, make the connection, treat them like the most important person.
所以呢，眼神接触是很简单的，你只要不要看着你的电话或是你的电脑，你只要跟人眼神接触的话，你就可以做到。
All these are very simple things, but sometimes we don't think about it and we're not making the connection.
第8个元素呢是接触他人。
Remember the first week we talked about that your default setting as a human is that you persuade people how you like to be persuaded.
因为第1周的时候，我们谈论到你必须要说服别人，让别人感觉他如何想要被说服。
And that's wrong. You need to adapt to them, persuade them how they want to be persuaded.
所以你必须要采用他们的看法，你必须要用他们想要你说服他们的方式来说服他们。
Connect with them the way they want to be connected with.
不管如何，就制造一种连接，让他们希望的方式连接。
Now, another interesting one that creates rapport is the ability is touch.
所以呢，有一个很特别的研究，就是说碰触。
Now, I know we got to be very careful here, male, female, different countries, different culture, but touch can really connect you with people.
虽然在不同的文化、不同的国家呢，碰触有不同的意义，但是呢，碰触它在这个建立关系上呢，其实是蛮重要的。
We know around the world when people touch on the shoulder, the arm, waitresses get bigger tips, people shop longer. There's a connection there.
所以，比如说呢，你要轻轻的碰触对方的肩膀啊，或是说拥抱的方式的时候，都是很有用的。
Now, I know we need to be careful. Some people just don't want to touch. Some cultures don't like touch.
那当然，你还是得注意到，有些人他完全不喜欢人碰触他，或者是说有些文化是不准碰触的。
But here's something interesting. Around the world, a handshake is touch.
但是呢，有一个有趣的事实，就是在全世界通用的地方呢，握手都是一个很重要。
Here's a fascinating study about a handshake. A bad handshake will set you back 1 hour in building rapport.
那说有一个好事，就是说，如果你有一个很好的握手的感觉的话呢，你就会在下一个钟头呢建立比较良好的关系。
Did you catch that? If you give someone a bad handshake, it's going to take you an hour to get back to where you were.
所以呢，如果说你不注重这个握手的感觉的话，你可能需要花1个小时之后的时间才能够建立你们原来的关系。
Of course, the biggest complaints are too strong or too soft.
当然有一些抱怨会说，比如说握手握太用力了，或者说太轻了。
Some people don't like it when you just grab their fingers.
有的人呢，只是握了指尖。
Or the people that give you too many pumps and will not let go.
或者有的人呢，他用力的摇动你的双手。
So one thing to remember with a handshake, make sure you have good eye contact, your shoulders are squared up with them.
所以当你在握手的时候，你要注意你有眼神上的接触，而且你要直面他们。
Make sure there's a good grip, and 2 to 3 pumps is okay.
最好你有很良好的态度，然后呢，大概握个2、3次。
And remember, this is important, and touch really connects you with people.
请记住，碰触是真的很好的一种连接。
And the final one I want to talk about today is learning to mirror and match.
那今天的一个特别的元素就是说，你就像你的
This is a very interesting science, and this is true around the world.
第9项的元素呢，非常有趣。如何有连接？
When you watch two people that have rapport, that have a connection, you watch their body language.
所以，当你看到2个人他们正在建立他们的关系的时候呢，观察一下他们的肢体语言。
Their breathing rates start to synchronize, their posture, their gestures, all mirror each other.
所以你会发觉到他们2个互相的态度、姿势跟手势呢，可能就像在照镜子一样的类似。
They even take a drink at the same time and start looking very similar.
也许他们一起在喝饮料的时候是同时喝，而且他们都很类似。
So as a persuader, what you can do is accelerate what's naturally going to happen in the future.
所以这有可能在未来在你身上发生。
So if you're in their office and they lean back, eventually you'll lean back too.
所以这个能够连接到你过去的记忆。
Careful not to do it at exactly the same time. They're going to think you're really strange.
要小心，不要真的做什么事都同个时间，那真的很奇怪。
Right? So mirror some of their gestures. In fact, a college professor did a study on this.
有一个大学的教授，他在做这个研究。
She'd go to different restaurants and pick someone about 10 feet away.
那他到餐厅里面呢，去挑选一些人。
And they'd take a bite, she'd take a bite. They'd take a drink, she'd take a drink. They'd wipe their face with a napkin, and she'd do the same.
所以呢，他们在用餐的过程呢，都做同样的动作。
And ultimately, the person would come over and say, "Do I know you? You seem very familiar to me."
但是在被配对的人呢，他们这么做的时候，他们会觉得说：“我认识你吗？你看起来好面熟。”
So you can mirror their body language. If they keep using the same words over and over again, you can start using some of those words that will connect you with them.
所以，如果他们常常使用的一些口头禅，你也采用的话，你们开始就会产生一种连结。
And even mirroring their energy can be really important.
也有可能说你们的活力也是一样的。
If they have low energy and are having a bad day,
如果他们有很没有朝气，然后他们过得很不好。
and you come and say, "Oh, it's a great day. Everything's perfect. How are you doing?"
那你说今天真是太棒了，那你现在做得如何呢？
That would be a disconnect. It wouldn't connect you with them.
那你就没有办法跟他们产生连接。
Start at their energy and slowly build them up.
所以呢，你必须要跟他一样的状况，然后慢慢的改善。
So the message is, when you get people to like you and trust you, it's going to reduce resistance and you're going to be more persuasive.
所以当你觉得人们信任你，开始喜欢你的时候，你可以做这样的一种连接。
I can't say it enough. You want to be successful, you want to make more money, your ability to persuade and influence is one of the most important things that you can learn because,
虽然我不能保证说你一定会赚到很多钱，或是一定会成功，但是我可以确认这样子，建立关系之后呢，你会有更好的影响力跟说服力。
Because even if you have the best product in the world, if you can't influence them, somebody else will.
因为如果你没有办法影响他人的话，别人也会影响他们。
That's why I'm so passionate about this. Too many people want to make money or start a business, and they're not as successful as they want to be.
所以这是为什么很有兴趣研究的领域，就是说人们非常想要成功，可是却失败了。
So your ability to persuade, influence, build trust, and connect with people is critical for your success and your income.
因为呢，你必须要先有说服力、影响力，开始跟人们产生连接，有了影响力，才有可能真正来成功。
So hopefully you've taken great notes.
所以希望大家今天能够做了一些笔记。
And I'm going to spend one more week with you.
我还会再跟大家再共度一周。
And next week, I'm going to give you a formula on how to create a perfect persuasive presentation where you get more people to say yes, and it's a lot easier than you think.
那下周呢，我们会谈到说你要如何成功的做一个具有说服力的展示，然后呢，你可以让人们更容易跟你产生信任感跟连接。
So thank you for listening. Try some of these skills this week and go out and persuade with power.
感谢大家今天的倾听。那今天这一周呢，你可以开始采用一些技巧，然走出屋外跟人们讨论。
So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
感谢大家的上课，我们下周见。
Thanks.
Thank you, Kurt.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you.